And welcome to the Bulloch Sports Report. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show. The Georgia Southern Eagles coming off a disappointing 35-10 loss in their Sun Belt opener on the road at James Madison as they dropped to 2-3 overall and 0-1 in Sun Belt play. A lot of questions to be answered after that game. The Eagles' running game was not effective. They rushed for 26 yards on 27 carries. The Eagles did not do much through the air either. As far as the offensive line, they allowed 7 sacks and 10 hit for losses for James Madison in that game. And then on the defensive side, things continue to struggle for Georgia Southern in all but the main game that they've played this year. Things got really bad against James Madison. They had nearly 500 yards of total offense, over 300 yards rushing in the game. Georgia Southern with no sacks. They currently rank among the bottom of all of Division I in almost every statistical metric. We had a chance to talk with Georgia Southern head coach Clay Helton earlier in the week. We'll have his responses to how things went in the James Madison game and where he hopes that they can bounce back during their bye week this week before they host Southern Miss next Thursday. As for our area high school team, speaking of Thursday, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets have a Thursday matchup on the road, a region matchup at Groves coming up Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We had a chance to talk with Jared Zito and a couple of his players about that game. As for the Statesboro Blue Devils, they are coming off a bye week themselves. 2 weeks ago, they were able to take care of business on the road, coming from a 13-point deficit to knock off Bradwell, and that was without quarterback Beckham Gerard, who is also going to be out this week as they head to Lakeside. We had a chance to talk with Matt Dobson and a couple of his players about the game. And as for the Bulloch Academy Gators, since their loss to John Millage, they've done really well. They scored 90 points in their last 2 games, both being on the road, giving up only 26. This week they'll be hosting Hilton Head Christian, the only game here in Bulloch County, going on Friday night. Portal is off this week. They have a bye week after knocking off Savannah High in overtime last week, 21-14 on Friday night. All right, plenty to come on the Bulloch Sports Report. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com. Northside Drive behind Remax Eagle Creek Realty. Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles in tough times right now. They're 2-3, 0-1 in Sun Belt play. If they want any chance of playing for a Sun Belt championship, they're going to have to take care of business against a very good Southern Miss team next week, and they're going to have to address some issues where they have been struggling offensively. They've done pretty well in 2 of the last 3 games, but this past Saturday they gave up 10 tackles for losses, 7 sacks in the game, only rushed for 1 yard per carry, and only passed for just over 100 yards in the game. On the defensive side of things even worse right now. They're among the worst teams in all of Division I in almost every statistical category, including being second to last in sacks, third to last in rush defense. So we had a chance to talk with head coach Clay Helton about how things went at James Madison and what he's hoping to do to help turn things around.
Yeah, credit to Coach Chesney and James Madison. I thought they played a great game, electric atmosphere up at their place where we did not play very well in any phase, to be honest with you. Anytime that you're playing that quality team, I think you have to have a great team outing and play well in all 3 phases, and we didn't. We lost the battle up front, both offensively and defensively in the trenches, and we lost the special teams, giving up a non-offensive touchdown. have an off week this week, which is, I think, ultra important for our team. We're 0-1 in conference and got some corrections that we need to make, as well as getting a little bit healthy out of the first 5 games before we come back to play Southern Miss right here at Paulson Stadium. So looking forward to the next opportunity and trying to go 1-0 that week. I thought that JMU won the one-on-one battles, and I said that to our team right after the game, and then after watching the tape. Not assignment-wise, but we lost the one-on-one opportunities in the battles within the trenches. And when you're playing that quality of team and one of the best pass defenses in the country, we needed to support the quarterback with the run game, and that did not happen. 27 yards on the day was not good enough. It especially put us in some third and long situations against a really good defense, and ended up having to punt several times because of it. Protected the football, but the nature of was we knew we were going to have to keep that ball away from their offense, and we did not do that. So more physical beats once you watch the tape than the mental. Obviously, the quality of football that we played in that game does not represent Georgia Southern or what we're about. Obviously, that we have to get that corrected between now and the next opportunity. We've played 1 conference game and we're 0-1. We've got 7 more opportunities to show who we are and what we can be. And I believe in this team, Josh, but right now that the way we played on Saturday does not represent Georgia Southern football, the toughness of it, the discipline of it. We're playing together, and so I think you use the word frustrated. If I don't blame fans for being frustrated or disappointed. We're disappointed. I'm disappointed also. So we've got the opportunity over an off week to put our best foot forward, to correct some things and get healthy and move on and be able to go put our best foot forward versus Southern Miss. We've got 1 game in this conference season. We've got 7 more opportunities to go. And I believe in this team, and I believe where we can go, but it can't be that type of outing or what we have shown offensively and defensively in that game. So, yes, there's a lot of corrections to make, and we look forward to the opportunities to make those.
And again, the Eagles playing Thursday night next week at home, 8 o'clock kickoff against Southern Miss at Paulson Stadium. And speaking of Georgia Southern, some good news going on in the athletic department. The Eagles soccer team has vaulted all the way up to the top 10 in the nation after a big victory at home against Marshall. Let's send you out for a few of those highlights and hear from their head coach. The number 19 ranked Georgia Southern men's soccer team taking on the defending national champion runner-up, the number 4 ranked Thundering Herd of Marshall. A good crowd on hand. Mitch Pixley gets this one to Ricky Lewis, who puts it in the back of the net. There's some nice dribbling. Finds a seam, blasts it through. Georgia Southern on top, 1-0. Marshall able to answer as Kivano Francis will score on the other end off the corner kick. That would tie the game at 1-1. But with about 11 minutes to go in the game, Finn Steele with the throw-in, and Lewis scores his 6th goal of the season, and that proves to be the game winner as the Eagles, with a huge upset, winning 2-1.
It feels amazing. I could feel the energy going through, the whole emotions. It was just a brilliant experience, honestly. We worked for this for about 3 years, came a long way, so it just feels amazing doing all the hard work. It makes us know that we're still underrated, we're humble, we came a long way, and we're showing the world who we are now. So it feels great. Well, the first goal, it was amazing, great touch, found a space, a gap. Me and my coach worked on that multiple times, so it was just the flow of the game, and it was just beautiful left foot. I've been working on that for so long, so it just feels great. And then the second goal, it's just, like my coach said again, just gamble. Anything could happen, anything could drop. And, luckily for me, it dropped to my feet, got a good touch, and banged it in.
I think I said to the staff on the side I think it was 4:52 left on the clock, I said, we've done all we can now. There's 4 minutes left. You're hoping and praying that you can just get through. And we did. That's a phenomenal soccer program that is one of the elite in the country and for many, many years now. And it's a sign of how far we've come that we not on that level yet, but in an individual game we can be. So just incredibly proud of everybody involved, and got to go again on Saturday at West Virginia. So we'll enjoy it, and then we'll move on. I'm more interested in what it does for us internally. You've seen the support from the crowd. You've seen the numbers that showed up. Certainly in my time here, we haven't had that. I think there's a belief growing around campus that this team's not too bad. Yeah, we've been building to a moment like this, and it's nice to get maybe that signature one, which we've maybe been lacking. And there's a lot of boxes checked with a win like that for this season. So it feels good, I'm not going to lie.
Stay with us. High school previews coming up next. Gerard Pre-Owned of Statesboro voted best place to buy a pre-owned vehicle 12 years running. 3 decades of experience in serving our community. Locally owned and operated, every vehicle undergoes rigorous multi-point inspections and thorough reconditioning. Flexible financing for all credit types, whether you're starting fresh or building credit, they've got you covered. Experience the Gerard difference today. 2330 Northside Drive West in Statesboro. The Bulloch Sports Report is brought to you in part thanks to Morris Bank, the proud sponsor of our Player of the Week segment. Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils coming off a bye week. 2 weeks ago, they looked pretty good on the road in Bradwell, especially there in the fourth quarter when they came back from a 10-point deficit to knock off Bradwell 38-28. This week, the Blue Devils will hope to continue their good play on the road as they hit the road for Lakeside, who's not won a game this year, but head coach Matt Dobson knows it can still be a dangerous place to play, and the fact that they had a solid team last year. We had a chance to talk with him and a couple of players about how they're playing, how they did on the bye week, and what they expect this Friday. We're here with Statesboro High's Davis Harrison. And Davis, a little different things going on here with Beckham being out. How are you guys adjusting to everything that's going on right now and on the offensive side of the ball?
Just really lost a team leader, most importantly. That's a big thing. He's a big vocal leader. And just having to step up and play a big role at QB it's been tough, but we're going to overcome it.
You had a chance to see what it would be like in the Bradwell game. You guys had to come back. How'd you feel about that performance, and how do you feel like that has you guys ready for this week?
I thought we really displayed how we're tough and resilient, and being down doesn't affect us. We're always going to be up, going to shake back.
You won a game on the road. That was huge for this team, and now you've got to go try to do it again this Friday at Lakeside.
Yes, sir. I think just keeping the energy up like we did last time, staying focused the whole time, whether we're on the bus or in the locker room for the game, just always staying focused.
Here with Statesboro High's Keon Childers, and tell me a little bit about how you're feeling about this game coming up with Lakeside and how you guys have been preparing without Beckham.
We feel great, we lost somebody that correlated with our team heavily, and we just got to keep our standard. We're going to keep our standard, belt, and just play football like we're used to.
You had to step up against Bradwell, and that was also big because it was a game that you won on the road. How do you feel like that is helping you get ready for this game with Lakeside Friday?
I think, bouncing off that game, we had some bad, we had some good, but cleaning up on things, just laser focused this week at practice, and it's Friday, it's payday.
Do you feel like the bye week came at a good time for you guys to kind of have an extra week to prepare for this game?
Yeah, I do, because it gives us time to just set back off and just focus on us, what we need to work on. And I feel like we did that pretty good going into the bye week. So this week, we're going to come off pretty strong.
Here with Statesboro High head coach Matt Dobson. And Coach, 2 weeks ago pulled off a huge win on the road at Bradwell. Got a bye week this past Friday. Came at a good time. How did things go, you feel?
Yeah, I thought the bye week was really good. We were able to get some guys rested up, guys, that had played a lot of snaps. Obviously, guys like Keon Childers that ran the ball 40 times. They're beat up a little bit and bruised up, so able to get him a little rested and some other guys like that, and then really be able to work on a lot of things. With Beckham being out, didn't really find that out until truthfully the day of the Bradwell game, and so this gave us a little time last week to work on some things offensively and be able to expand on what we did well in the Bradwell game, and just find some other things that we think can be good for us.
Bradwell game big in a lot of ways. First of all, you proved you could win without Beckham there at quarterback, but also, even maybe more importantly, you proved you could win on the road. Yeah,
it was definitely something we haven't shied away from. We've talked about a lot as a team, talked with our leadership council about it, and guys did a good job. We started fast, especially offensively, and that was big. Just something we talked about is just starting faster on the road. So certainly, we actually changed some things up when we went on the road, and some things we're going to kind of keep and as part of our process as we do go on the road, the way we travel and things. And so just always trying to, find ways to improve on that stuff, and thought our kids did a good job and responded well to some of the changes we made.
Well, you've got another road game coming up here this Friday, an important one there at Lakeside. What do you know about them? What do you expect? And do you feel like that win at Bradwell can help you kind of carry things over a little bit?
Yeah, Lakeside is a much different team from last year. They graduated a really, really good senior class last year, but they still got some really explosive players. They've struggled at times this year, but still can hit explosive plays. That's what we got to be careful of. Is this can be a home game for them, and they're looking for a little bit of momentum and trying to get on the right track. And so don't let them hit those big plays and step on the gas early, try to get ahead, and don't give them much hope is what our plans got to be. And but I do think that going on the road last week, learning from the Bradwell game, learning that we can play on the road well, and we can win without our starting quarterback. It's big. I think it gave some guys some confidence, and I really felt like guys with Beckham out last week, some guys raised their level of play knowing they needed to, and so just hoping to continue that. And then once we get Beckham back, those guys continue to raise their level of play like when he wasn't with us last week.
This is Paul Newman, owner and broker of Statesboro Real Estate. I have been in the business over 20 years and completed well over 1,000 transactions, helping buyers, sellers, and investors navigate the home buying process. One of the things that sets us apart is our tie to the university. I'm the official real estate agent of Georgia Southern Athletics. With our team of experienced brokers and agents and our online presence, we can help you navigate any deal. Along with Statesboro Real Estate, I'm the co-owner of PMG Rentals, where we manage over 1,300 properties, improving the lives of investors and tenants since 2009. Whether you're looking to rent, buy, or sell, make sure you call Paul.
At Pope Construction, we've been trusted to build Southeast Georgia for over 50 years. Family owned and operated, we take pride in delivering quality projects on time, every time. From schools to churches and government facilities, our team is committed to integrity, excellence, and building relationships in the communities we serve. Learn more at popeconstructionco.com. The Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets licking their wounds after being in a four-way tie for first place in the region. A big loss on the road, a 10-7 frustrating loss for the Yellow Jackets, which included a couple of costly turnovers and some penalties at inopportune times. We had a chance to talk with head coach Jared Zito and a couple of his players as they get set for a Thursday evening matchup at Groves. Here with Southeast Bulloch head coach Jared Zito, and coach, coming off a tough loss to Liberty, 10 points, you only score 7. That's your lowest output. Yep. But defensively, point-wise, they didn't score a lot. Tell me a little bit about the game and how you're feeling.
Well, I give credit to Liberty. I thought they had a really good plan. Running back ran hard. Mike linebacker is really a special player. Those two guys played really well for them. For us, we wasn't our best night. We didn't give our A game. We had too many penalties, turnovers, missed tackles. That's kind of the story of the game for us. We did some good things, but not nearly consistent enough. Not against a good team. and we got to do better. But again, give Liberty a lot of credit. They played really good, played really hard. We got to clean those things up. It was very shocking. Did not see that coming at all. Probably our worst performance of the year in a lot of ways. So now we got to rebound and see what we're made of.
How's the team responding this week? What does it feel like around the locker room and as you guys are getting out there and starting to get ready to practice?
Well, we'll know more today. You know, I think our guys know. The one thing, we're a pretty self-aware group. They know they didn't play very well. It's unfortunate. They're going to have to watch the tape here in a little while and kind of eat that a little bit. Hopefully we're mature, we learn and grow from it. The thing that my challenge is the really good people that we've played, and besides Calvary, I thought we stepped up against Calvary, but Statesboro and Liberty, I just didn't think we brought enough of our A game to really good opponents, and we got to learn how to play four-quarter football game. We'll see if that's a challenge this week. We know for sure it'll be a challenge down the road.
You've got Thursday night. It was scheduled for Friday. They changed it a couple of weeks ago. You've got Groves on the road. How are you feeling about this one? What do you think you need to do?
Well, I think offensively they got some skilled kids that can run, and they got a quarterback that seems he can throw the football down the field. He's not real mobile, but he is a pocket presence threat. For us, we got to get back to doing the things that got us any kind of success so far this season. Playing with real good leverage. Not leaving our feet to make tackles, taking care of the football, and playing clean offensive football. Can't play behind the chains, not in our style offense. We're good if we get positive yards on each play, and if we get into second and third and long, we know those can be a real challenge for us.
Here with Southeast Bulloch, defensive standout Chase Douglas. And Chase, coming off a tough loss, what do you think went wrong? What do you feel like you guys need to do to turn things around?
Really just everybody try to do their best from the start. Defense, we should have held them to 0, but fall short. Offense, I can't really speak on their part. I got in a couple plays, but I tried to do my best, and really we're trying to do good. I mean, there's no wrong in anything. We just have to execute on our part.
What's the mood of the team right now? Do you feel like the guys are still upbeat? You feel like you guys are still on track, even though it might be a little tougher to reach your goal than it was before this last game?
Really, we're disappointed, of course, but we're always hungry to get the next one. It gives us energy to come back and be stronger and better than the team we're about to play, really.
What do you feel about, you got a Thursday night game, you're going to Groves. What do you feel like you guys need to do in order to pull off a win?
Just be better than last week. We just got to work harder this week to be better.
Here with Southeast Bulloch linebacker Brant Horst. And Brant, tough loss here this past Friday night on the road at Liberty. How are you guys feeling about that? What do you feel like went wrong? What do you have to do to turn things around?
We feel pretty down about it, and we're going to fix it with our team and our momentum. Our defensive-wise, we did really good, my part, and our secondary did okay, and our defensive line did really good. And our offensive, I can't speak on what they did or how they did, but I think we should be better next week.
The coach said he felt like things were just not real crisp out there on either side of the ball, but particularly on offense. How is the mood of the team right now? Are you guys still pretty upbeat about how things are going?
We're upbeat about it, but we know what to change and what to do to get better and proceed to the next week or next season, what we call the playoffs.
So you've got Groves coming up. It's a Thursday night, a little bit different. Got a quicker turnaround this week. How are y'all feeling about this?
I feel great about it because our team could do something faster and more different, so we don't have to be.
For the Bulloch Academy Gators, it's been smooth sailing since their loss to John Millage a couple of weeks ago. The last 2 games, they've taken care of business, both games on the road at Strong Rock Christian and at Tatnall Square by a combined 90-26. This week they get to come back home to Gator Alley where they're hosting Hilton Head Christian Friday night. We had a chance to talk with Aaron Phillips and a couple of his players about how they're doing in the matchup on Friday.
Hojo's Country Store is proud to support all Bulloch County and surrounding area athletics. We've been fueling up for almost 20 years. With 3 locations in Statesboro and locations in Sylvania, Wadley, and Bagsley, Hojo's Country Stores is the real MVP. And a special shout out to our Bulloch Academy Gators. Go get them.
Here with Bulloch Academy head coach Aaron Phillips. And Coach, after that loss to JMA, you guys have reeled off a couple impressive wins. It took you just a little bit to get going this past Friday. How'd you feel about the performance?
Yeah, they had 2 weeks to prepare for us, so they caught us with a couple, I don't want to say trick plays, but a couple plays where they moved some guys around, and we had a little busted coverage right there and allowed them to have a little momentum early. Offensively, again, I think we had 493 yards or 94 yards of offense, and they really couldn't slow us down for the most part. And so had a really good performance by Donye Garvin and Sam Hubbard. Both of those guys, did a great job for us. Offensive line, of course, is, they're a bunch of sophomores and a couple juniors, and those guys are just getting better and better every week. And their coaches thought that, that was probably our best part of our game was that up front group getting better and better and more experienced each game. And so, everything we want to do is right there in front of us still. John Millage is a great team. They beat the number 1 ranked team in 4A Stratford. They put 51 points on them. So, ultimately, we make a field goal, our PATs, 2 PATs, and that's a one score game, And I told those guys, we're as good as anybody in 4A. We'd like to have a couple plays against John Millage. I don't know if it changes the outcome, but we'd like to have about 3 of them back. And, Strong Rock's a good team. They go beat Pacelli this week pretty good. And Tatnall's struggling a little bit this year. They're young, but, they got a legend coach over there and Barney Hester and a really good staff and a tradition. And, they were prepared. They knew what they were supposed to do and all, and we come out and executed at a high level. Really since, the John Millage game and the Robert Toombs game, we've played a lot cleaner football, which has led to, 52 points and 38 points. And so, 2 games that were 400-yard plus games. And so that's what we want to do offensively. Defensively has gotten better and better. I thought the last 2 weeks we really struck people and hit them. We wasn't trying to just get people down to the ground. We were playing a lot more downhill. So they kind of see that, maybe we do. They kind of believe in it, and that's a hard thing, when you got a good team and then they actually believe in themselves. That's a good combination to have.
This week was supposed to be your bye week. Got a lot of things going on this week, distraction-wise possibly. You got Hilton Head Christian on the field on Friday. How are you feeling about this week and, everything that you got to kind of go through to get to Friday?
Yeah, with the school, we had scheduled some field trips for the 9th grade and then a college tour for the juniors and seniors originally back in the summer. And then, we had found out Augusta Christian was not going to have their football program and be able to play us. We had to scramble around. So we had 2 dates available, the date that Augusta Christian was going to play us and then our open date. And we just made our mind up the first date we could find an opponent, we were going to take it. I thought it was better to have 10 games than to play 9. I didn't want to take a game away from our seniors. We had to take a game last year away due to a hurricane. So, and who knows that we don't have to do that again, So Hilton Head, they were kind of in the same boat with the team canceling on them. So we were able to play them. They're a good football team. They were state champions in 2023, and they got a coach that's been there a long time. They're pretty good. Their quarterback's committed to Navy. He's a 6'4", 215-pound quarterback, and obviously if you're going to Navy to do what they do, he's going to be a tough kid, So it's going to be a challenge for us. So, but they got a good program. They got to come over here to Gator Alley. They hadn't faced a lot of teams like us. We're just a little different in what we do, and you got to be prepared to want to do that for 48 minutes.
Here with Bulloch Academy kicker Case Woodrum. And Case, how are you feeling about the team right now? You guys have won the last couple games after that loss to John Millage. How's things going?
Yes, sir. I think things are going really well. I think John Millage, we could have beat him. We just didn't play very well. And then I think for the rest of the year, it's we got to beat John Millage again. That's about it.
What do you feel like you guys have been doing better?
I feel like our defense has gotten a lot better, and I feel like our offense, we've kind of cut out most of the little simple mistakes and mental errors that we had.
You got Hilton Head Christian. You get another game here at Gator Alley. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good about it. The home atmosphere and then home field advantage. We'll have a lot more fans here and a lot more people cheering us on. So I think it'll be pretty good for us.
Here with Bulloch Academy punter Brady Popkin. And Brady, how are you guys feeling about where the team is right now? You've picked up a couple of wins since your last loss. How are you guys feeling?
I think we're feeling really good collectively as a team. I really feel like we have a very good chance at beating all of our competition for the rest of the year, and hopefully nothing stands in our way of, another state title back to back.
You've got Hilton Head Christian. You get to come back home and play. I guess that's a good thing for you. You get to play in front of your home crowd once again.
Yes, sir. It's very good to have the atmosphere of the home crowd, more people cheering for us. It's just overall good.
Focus of the team right now, you guys feel like everything's going pretty well?
Everything defensively is going really well. We've had multiple interceptions in our past 2 games, so I feel like our defensive side of the ball has been really improving.
And as we mentioned at the top of the show, the Portal Panthers coming off the big win, a region victory 21-14 in overtime last Friday against Savannah High. They have a bye week this week. All right, that'll wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.